So yeah, I mean, maybe that can work. Or they just need to find another coach that can lead for them, which would actually probably be a Dren, would be the best option, funny enough, given who's available. But yeah, I don't know if that'll pan out or not.
And then even still, they're in a bit of an awkward situation because they will be playing with the Dren again when it comes to the end of March, start of April. Maybe just the end of March if they don't make it out of groups. Well, they will have a Dren again. And I don't know if Kusta would then be maybe able to stand behind them, or who knows what they want to do. I know that they don't mind having James there, but certainly if you want a tactician and someone who knows CSGO, maybe James wouldn't be the best fit. But here we go. We're finally live over onto Cash. We got Team Liquid on the CT side. That'll be Elige, Hiko with the utility, Simple, Kusta, and Nitro also with smokes and kits. And then onto compLexity. Uh-oh. Fraud lining up a smoke and shot in the face. And did his smoke land or did it just drop that? It just dropped right on his body, so it didn't even go. Even still, compLexity able to fight back. Sanks will take down Nitro and the bomb will be planted. 3 versus 4 post plant here. Simple, he spotted one man at quad. One at fence though, that'll be Sanks finding his second kill. Still they remain a man down, trying to fight back. Roka dealing with some fire as well as bullets there behind quad. Kusta will take him down, and Sanks trying to push a smoke to take a battle. He'll go down.
And that was just a big play from Simple, getting that counter boost, taking out Fraud, getting an instant 5-on-4 before compLexity can even start their execute. And then just he and Kusta combining pretty well together to make the retake happen. But compLexity, they at least get a bomb plan out of that. So there is some good that came from that round for them, as they will likely take just kind of a full save here and look to buy AKs and such in the next round. We are going to go ahead and see some rifles being picked up here by Simple and Elige. But still pretty SMG heavy on Hiko, Kusta, and Nitro. And it looks like they're, again, going to get pretty aggressive here at middle. They do fall back pretty quickly to just more default positions. Kind of a 2-1-2, even kind of giving A, like almost playing a retake A setup at this point, as passive as Elige, just playing over towards the truck.
So, compLexity looking to set up for a B hit. I like that, you know, the Deagles come out on Fraud and Sanks. Looks like they bought Khalil and AK as well. Drop it over to Def and Roka, so put them in charge. Yeah, they have completely forced up. They also have some flashes, and they're going to try to get in here. Flash from Hiko, and he actually will be the Lone Ranger. That's the role that you see him in most often, and just with an MP7, he'll bring down Roka, but Def is there in the trade. Gets that kill with the Khalil. Kusta coming up top will find Def, and that drops the bomb. Sanks, though, quickly scoops it back up. Retrieves the football and will get into the site, but being pushed up behind. That's Simple coming through headshot ledge. And they get one kill, but things quickly fall apart. Team Ace for Team Liquid.
Yeah, so I was mistaken. They didn't decide to go for the third round AK buy. They went ahead and just tried to force up and try to make a play happen at B, relying on Roka and kind of that new entry role to open up the site, but couldn't do it. Hiko able to get the initial kill, and Kusta and Simple able to make the rotate to help him out, and they shut that down. And that is kind of the new thing you're seeing on Liquid, is the buddy system, which is Hiko and Simple. They pretty much play every site together, usually the B-bomb site, the small site on most maps, and that's exactly what you're seeing here on Cash. Elige and Nitro pairing up over here at A. Kusta taking mid for now. It is going to be compLexity looking to do a pretty heavy, squeaky door push right away, and here it goes. Looking for the quad kill on the Nitro. That's an even trade, however. Now Elige is stepping in, and he's put the stop to this pretty much by himself.
Yeah, Elige triple kill. Will go down, but finds a triple kill with the FAMAS. Kusta's there for a $600 kill with the MP7. A quick 3-0 here for Team Liquid. And compLexity, well, the rifle round will come out now since they decided to do those force-up antics in round 2. And what do they get? AKs on everybody. Shinobi and Def with the full nades. Fraud and Sanks making sure they have a smoke, and Roka has 2 flashes.
Yeah. So, I mean, compLexity has kind of turned into more of a slower-paced team, kind of like the same pattern that CLG has taken. So expect us to kind of do mostly default stuff for now until they start getting some success and establish themselves, and then you'll start seeing some faster execute. So, yeah, like I said, Shinobi playing the door player, as we noted before the game started. Roka over on the B side of the map. So that's your peripheral role players for this particular map. Like I said, the roles kind of vary based on the map. We're going to see Fraud in A main here, holding that smoke, making sure no one's going to push through, but Liquid, again, playing a very passive setup on the sites. Like I said, almost playing a retake A with Kusta way far back on truck, and just focusing a lot on middle. Simple's over towards the vents, Elige and Nitro, sandbags and highway. It might be a late mid-control here attempt from compLexity, so we'll see if they can get past the defense that Liquid has set up.
Yeah, that could actually be pretty difficult. Simple still within the vents, and then Elige and Nitro have a fantastic crossfire for anyone that tries to push up middle. And it looks like setting up for some crisscross smokes. I'm pretty sure that's what Sanks and Def are doing. Yes, they are. Crisscross smokes go out, but mid-main still smoke. Now dissipating. Def and Roka looking to take point there, but they are being very, very slow, working their way out. And Shinobi, thought he was in a point that he might Molotov the vents, but instead he's setting up a smoke for the A bomb site. And Bomb as well as Fraud and Sanks moving up to A main. And Simple will get that first kill from the vents. That was Roka, the only one to go out middle. No, Def was with them too, but at the white box, he'll go down. And Fraud jumping over the flames, jumping over the candlestick. Fraud be quick as he moves over back into quad. Well, hit him on rhymes, Dust.
Dropping bars, dude. I'm down for it.
We got Hiko picking up a AK there in the middle, and Simple and Elige at truck and bomb wall here, ready to retake onto the site. Looking at the utility, Simple does have an incendiary, but he gets caught out by Sanks, who peeked up the default. Hiko worried about someone at the door, which, was a great concern, but now he's got others as he's the last one up. 1 versus 3. He'll try to work his way in. Fraud taking a shot. He knows one's quad. Sees the shadow there of Sanks, but can't hit the shot. Sanks coming up with 2 kills in the post-plant position.
Yeah, very nicely done there by compLexity. I was kind of wondering if they were going to be able to deal with the mid play that Liquid had as they were trying to go for that late mid control. Panned out well enough and able to turn it into a late A execute. They're able to get the bomb down and secure it, so that's their first round on the board, but there's still enough money here for Liquid to get out a full buy. For the most part, Nitro is going to be just on the 5-7, Elige on a FAMAS, so it's not ideal, but it's still pretty good. Fraud trying to see if he could use his spawn to get a mid pick with the smoke, and Nade will come in and stop him from being able to find anything. Meanwhile, Liquid going to set up a little bit aggressive here at mid, but it's just Nitro, no counter boost or anything, just going to play underneath. Complexity, again, just keeping that same pretty slow default setup. But they usually shift in the A hits off of this. That seems to be the site they favor. And yeah, you can even see Fraud come on door to look for a pick.
Man, no one here, though. Team Liquid have been pretty willing to play passive on the A site. Which then you expect them to have the good retakes, but we didn't really see much of that in the last round, and that's how compLexity got the first one on the board. Elige, though, has been pretty dangerous. 6-2 thus far. Saw that triple kill with a FAMAS, but then again, that was against unarmored members of compLexity, as Fraud will be flashed, and it's Nitro that might have the battle on his hands. People looking to counter boost and jump on top of him here.
So Def is going to step out. Nitro, though, with the 5-7, going to find the kill. Turning around, looking for Def as well. Kusta will be the one to step out, though, because of the distraction and find 2 kills. So, nice little bait set up there for Liquid. And now Elige will finish off the A push, and compLexity, as they were trying to posture up, just absolutely collapse. And Liquid reset Cole's economy and continue to build up a good big lead here on the CT side of Cash. What a play from Kusta. Got to give him some props on that one. Perfect timing with Nitro.
Yeah, Nitro. I mean, even he was almost able to get 2. It turns around, then everyone is like, all right, this guy hasn't died yet. They're trying to deal with him. Then the peek comes from Kusta. Gets 1 immediately and brings that spray down to the person that had jumped way out off the boost. And then Elige, of course, standing tall on the A site, holding the rest of it. Now Simple moving into B main, aggressive. Actually, a lot of backup here. 2 will fall, but Nitro is there to make sure it doesn't get out of hand. And that's why you put 3. Simple with the 3K, Nitro with the 2K, and that's Team Liquid 5-1, but compLexity back up to rifles.
The compLexity's having a tough time here on the Terrace side. They've only been able to find 1 round, and even that was a pretty close one. Able to win a nice 3-on-3 situational, but since then they have had a tough time breaking through anything. Fraud not finding much with that off. He's going to be on an AK this round. Shinobi just on a Tech 9, taking the sacrifice to make sure he can get some utility, and they're going to fall off that default. It hasn't been working out, so now they're going to have to go to something else, and it's going to be what looks to be just a very heavy A execute, and like you said, Liquid's been playing kind of a retake A setup, but not this time. With Nitro and Elige both here, Kusta already rotating, so they're gonna try to stand tall against this. Oh, that was a mess. Luckily, the smoke extinguished that, so no damage was dealt, but it's still messed up. That's gonna not allow them to flush out this quad play, but they still get the kill.
Yeah, good job by Def to go in there and bring down Nitro. Nitro actually killless on the round. It's been Elige and Hiko that have done the damage. That means it's a 3-on-3, but Def with another 2 as they try to get up highway. Maybe some confusion there from Liquid, and they've paid the price. Def with a massive round, 3K, and they're tripled up behind quad. Hiko's the clutch master, but there's no way he expects that, and he may never know. I guess on Death Cam, he'll see all 3 run out.
Yeah. You usually like Hiko in those situations, but just not able to find it. But I mean, Def was kind of the hero that round. I mean, because like I said, the Molotov missed. I was supposed to clear out quad, so Nitro was able to hold his position, and Liege was right there to help him out. But Def able to clear the site with 3 kills, and he does kind of play a secondary entry role in most cases on this team now. That's kind of what they use him the most for. And he gets the job done, does his role, gets the kills, and that's another round on the board for complexity. So they're trying to reel this back in, but there's now a double op setup in effect, excuse me. Simple taking his over here at B lobby. Kusta pushing Squeaky Door. So they're going to get aggressive here on Complexity now, try to disrupt them before they can set up. And you can see Complexity wants to head B. That's where the bomb is, and 3 players. So Simple might have a chance to shut this down.
Yeah, and that's we didn't even really talk about that too much in the pregame for Team Liquid. Like now with Simple and Kusta, and yeah, as you say, Sanks up on the forklift. He'll bring down Nitro. And, well, that's what happens when you push people aggressive and squeaky like that, and then it backfires.
Yeah, I mean, Nitro not expecting someone to push A main in that situation, I guess, gets completely blindsided, and Sanks will escape before Liquid can fall back from door and catch him, so it's just going to be a 5-on-4 for free, thanks to Sanks' intense maneuvering. But there still is that op on Kusta inside the A bomb site that they have to try to get past, and he's usually good for at least 1 from this spot.
Best op Asia. I don't know if that's true after we saw Zilkenberg. Let's see what he's got. He got at least the 1 frag. He gets the leg, and now he's going to get mollied out and then shot down by Sanks, who comes flying out of the squeaky door. So Kusta falls 4-3 on the post plant. Complexity's advantage. Roka trying to look through a little bit of a gap in a smoke to kill any player coming up truck, and once again they'll double up on quad. They got a man in A main. And Sanks, he's been so good actually playing in the default spot or even moving up towards that wood box and taking the fight to Team Liquid as they try to retake. Simple will chime in with the op. So now that they know actually the double op setup is underway, well, just the one now, of course, Kusta died, but if Simple can save this, they'll know that he has one and plan accordingly. Simple going to try to peek, maybe make it a bit more expensive. Complexity will exit the other way. Actually, coming into the Z connector is Sanks.
So,
all right.
Well done. I mean, that really just came off the back of Sanks making a big play, and he even finishes it up with, you know, a 3-kill. Unfortunate for Kusta that he only got the leg shot there. Tried to pull out a nade to ensure the 1 frag and got caught for it and got nothing out of it. So that kind of all stacked up to Complexity winning the round. And it is important to note that in all of Complexity's games so far, their T side has been what's carried them through their victories. You know, they've always been able to put up 7 or 8 rounds regardless of the map. It's been their CT sides that have struggled. So they really do need to kind of continue this this pattern and try to get up to 8 or so rounds to really stand the chance against Liquid later.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy looking at it now that you've mentioned it. The T side of Cash for Complexity is where they get 71% of their rounds.
Yep.
So that's like,
I think against
that's
Liquid
like
last time they had
territory
9
on T side, pretty much.
Yeah, like I said, they either had 8 or 9 last time they played Liquid on this map on the T side. So
was that this game later? As I consult with our cameraman about something he mentioned. Is that gonna be the new thing? Just quoting GB James? Because I think it might be. He's got some rich quotes. Yeah. As the A defense is underway. A bit of a stack actually. Hiko's pushed up aggressive mid, but it could quickly come up highway or even quickly flank in and push behind the main. But it is just 5.7s, P250s. Simple with that op that he was able to save, so he'll still be a bit of a danger. But he's in B, anchoring the site by himself.
Yep. Hiko might get the quick flank, but the 3 players that are here have to hold. They do have that 1 op, but again, it's pretty far off, and Complexity will clear out all these pistols inside the site. The bomb will go down, and this looks like it's all but Complexities unless Hiko and Simple do something crazy. But not going to happen. Fraud able to catch the flank of Hiko right away. Simple trying to see if he can't get a kill on someone pushing CT spawn, but he's taking a lot of damage, and he'll even get taken out. Def hitting some nice shots, and he's really been on point this game. Like I said, usually Sanks and Roka have been the guys to really put up the numbers for this team in most of their matches they've played so far. Roka's actually been surprisingly quiet tonight, but Def has certainly stepped up to kind of fill his shoes next to Sanks, and he's really helped them a lot this half. I think he's won 2 rounds kind of by himself, to be honest, the way he's played.
Yeah, and the other one's pretty much credit to Sanks. Both of them are really carrying this team right now. 11 kills on Sanks, 10 kills on Def, 5 kills on the rest of the team. Roka and Fraud with 2 each, Shinobi with 1. That's crazy, and a little more similar to the kill line for Liquid. Elise at 11, Simple at 8, Kusta at 6, and then Nico actually down there at only 2, but...
Ooh, they get Hiko and Sunroom right now, so it allows them to kind of fall off of B and stack more heavy towards A and mid for free. Because, I mean, Hiko's going to get the information, plus he might just be able to kind of semi-backstab this push if they ever do decide to come this direction. So this is going to be really good for Liquid to get that intel and get that early rotate.
Well, they still maintain that man advantage. Oh, Simple will drop off, and they're going to flash and push. That's why pushing the game with the 3 terrorists here. Now there are 0. Elysian Simple hitting those shots, dropping everybody. And now it's going to be on to Fraud, who will come up with that op, trying to win that battle. But there's Simple with the FAMAS holding the angle. He'll win out. And, oh, Nitro sent running. Did he actually, was he able to pick up that gun? He was.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually kind of crazy how Liquid went from playing this really passive, almost retake A setup for the majority of the beginning of the half to now pressing the issue at A on a regular basis, whether it be pushing Squeaky or pushing A main. Kind of, you know, backfired on him one round when Sync slipped out when they went door and he was able to open up the A site. But that round, with the combination of Hiko getting Sunroom control, came up absolutely massive to just destroy Cole there. Now they're up 6-4. compLexity still able to get a buy, but they're running out of cash. Might be their last buy before they have to take a save. So this could be where Liquid starts building up their lead in a big way again. As we're going to see that wrap strategy now. Shinobi's going to throw a smoke and they're going to wrap around the highway side of the site.
And Nitro going to slow him down, though, popping a flash way up in the sky, and they're going to boost over red, so try to wrap on this is basically what Liquid is saying. Maybe working out, Shinobi gets a kill. Oh, battle up on top of the Red Great American Gladiators up there. Def pushes through the smoke, and actually Elige gets all of them. Credit to the M4A4 with its 30 bullets, and here's Fraud with his AK. Got one man down, that was Elige, spots Nitro, and is able to spray on it to the headshot there. And we've got Fraud, 1 versus 2. Hiko with an op, actually, and Simple on just 13 HP. Simple can, of course, bait any shots here and maybe let Hiko know. They're going to split up. Hiko still at the trunk. Simple going Z connector. He'll be coming up highway. Flash out from Fraud. Not very effective and not really able to move. He does take a slightly more aggressive position up here on this box. Hiko's going to spot him out now and actually switch to the FAMAS, not wanting to have to retake with an op, and another jumping underhand flash there from Fraud. That one also not working out, and Simple will win the round on 13 HP.
I mean, Fraud tried to make something of that round, but just didn't play that 1v2 quite right. Is going to drop it, but I mean, that's just a tactic that everyone knows now in NA. It's something that Cloud9 was very famous for doing. Even Adrin used to run that on Liquid all the time, like that fast exploding smoke out of door explodes so fast it allows you to get that fast wrap, but Liquid's very aware of that play, especially Elise and Nitro have been on this team for a very long time, so they just set up for the perfect counter to it, and I think between the two of them, they got like 3 or 4 frags on that initial hold, so yeah, Liquid kind of countering compLexity there. compLexity still able to get a buy thanks to the bomb plant.
Oh, once again, Team Liquid, they like to do this, and actually it was compLexity. Money was pretty tight, as you had mentioned, going into that round, but the bomb plant helped out, so there were rifles for compLexity, but Team Liquid, yeah, they're having none of that. They're just getting aggressive, and just like that, they've taken down Def and Roka. Here is Sanks, going to try to give them some hope. He'll bring down Hiko, and Elige is low, so maybe there's a chance that Shinobi kills Nitro. So 3-on-3, each team with a very, very low member.
Yeah, that is very true. As again, it's just Liquid, constant aggression now. Elige had the spawn, so normally he plays A, but he tried to push B lobby there, and you get the kill for it. But as you noted, Shinobi and Sanks working together to even it back out into a 3 versus 3. Busta's still going to be here with that op over at Quad. Last time around he was in this situation, he wasn't able to find much, but this time you won't even have to really deal with it. I mean, he's got to worry about door, Fraud, maybe trying to throw a little bit of a fake over here in the B vents, but Simple, he's right there, but Simple has no idea Fraud is right behind him. He's even going to just back into Fraud, but he turns around and look, lo and behold, this surprise. Thank you for the $1,500, Fraud.
Yeah, money's certainly not going to be a problem for Team Liquid going forward. compLexity, though, in a completely different boat. Stank's going to make it expensive, and actually, maybe still with a chance to win the round. He will plan. He has been very, very good working off of this A site, but that's when he had teammates as a distraction. Now he's all by himself. Did got shot at from the left. Maybe he'll realize that Simple's up on the catwalk. And all right, Molotov to block off one side. But players can still push that. Whoa, what an angle there from Simple. And Sanks actually nearly hit that shot. Quite a nade, nearly taking down Elige. Puts him down to 1 HP, but he hits the jump over. Sanks is aware of this, but peeking out too wide. Puts him in the crosshair of Simple, who will win the round with a 2K and a defuse.
To be honest, Sanks played that 1v2 about the best you could. I mean, he was using all the right nades at the right time. He was, not overcommitting to his peaks. It just, when it's a 2v1 and Liquid play it smart and they set themselves up to trade, it's going to be hard to pull it out. So, nice attempt from Sanks. Almost salvages a round for his team, but just couldn't quite do it. As I think Simple catching Fraud was pretty massive, and then Kusa being able to hold long enough to let the rotate set in. So now Liquid have won the last 3 rounds in a row. Money is running real dry for Cole, but they're kind of approaching max loss bonus at the same time as they're getting a lot of bomb plants, so they're still able to force out buys. But they're, a little bit limited on utility now. Shinobi has no nades, which is, he's normally the guy that's throwing them to initiate the execute, so it's got to be on other people to make this work.
And still for complexity on this T side, there's still just a huge lack of damage and killing potential coming out. It's Sinks and Def with 24 kills combined and 9 for the other 3 players. It's pretty tough.
Yeah, Roka needs to wake up here. He's going to get
There
that kill on the Kusa, so he's able to open up mid. So they have an opening 5-on-4. It's been a while since they've had one of these. I feel like Liquid's kind of had their way with complexity in the early part of rounds with the opening hits on their aggression, but this time, not going to be the case. Cole looking to swarm this B-bomb site now. Smoke out on lower. One player inside the site's going to be Hiko.
All right, Elige from up top is Simple, holding on to the site. Gonna grab 2. Elige gets 1, decides to fall down to the floor, and Fraud is there to get a deagle headshot. Now he's in a 1v1, 2 flashes, does spot Nitro up top, but can't hit the running and flick shot 1 deag. That was required, and that'll be Team Liquid going up to 9 rounds. Complexity with 4 and money. A little bit lower than it was in rounds past. Probably Tech 9 armor if they want it.
I think Complexity's opportunity to win this series is kind of slowly fading away. Again, I felt like they needed to win this map to have a chance, because I don't see them doing so well on Mirage on the 3rd map. They need to try to pick it up, but now they have to do so much more with very little at this point just to make a half out of this, because the way this thing has been trending lately, it's not looking good for Complexity. We do see them trying to go for a late mid boost. Roka trying to find some deagle action, but he's just eating a lot of damage instead. Def does find one on Elige. Nitro's quick to trade, however. Now, it is going to be an early 4-on-4, and Complexity do have somewhat of mid-control, but now they're getting denied a bit because Simple has shown up.
Oh, Roka! Roka, at half HP from a grenade because he went up onto that boost right after the molly expired. The nade landed on his back, but that ain't no thing for Roka. He is going to peek out later, gets that 1 deag, and the main advantage for Complexity. They are still very out-armed. But maybe there is a chance here. They've got a smoke. Shinobi can smoke up that cross. Flash for Roka. Can maybe push Hiko back a little bit. Oh, this nade. That's going to be some perfect timing. Oh, they spread out a little bit. Shinobi's going to go down in flames. And Hiko gets 1 more. What? The 3rd kill onto Roka. That's insane. And now it's Fraud with the deagle once more in a 1v1 inside of the B site. Got the bomb, and now he's picked up the op. The weapon the man is known for. Can he find some success with it here? He'll go for the fake plant, but unsure of whether or not... Oh, what a shot to miss. He was kind of unsure of whether they were coming from CT or B main. I think once that nade bounced off the bank shot, he kind of realized it was B main, peeks out, but misses the shot.
Yeah, I feel like Fraud's been put in a lot of clutch situations this game. I think he had like a couple over at A, a couple of 1v1s or 1v2s at A, and now he had a couple of shots over here at B as well. He's never been able to close out in these clutch situations, and that kind of hurts, because that's actually why the score is the way it is. I mean, a lot of these rounds have wound up close. I mean, yeah, there's been some rounds that have been absolute blowouts because of Liquid's aggression, but there's been some 2v2, 1v1 type situations, and Complexity can never come up with them. Sanks had a shot at a clutch as well that couldn't come up with.
Oh.
So it's been rough on Complexities. They're going to try to go on this quick wrap strat again on the A-bomb site. Didn't work last time. We'll see if it fares better this time around.
Yeah, and Fraud failed to get that mid pick. He took one angle first, then tried to go for that cheeky angle and clear out Z connector, but Kusa had already crossed. Now the A take is coming. Shinobi and Roka finding some success here, but it's not enough. It'll still be Team Liquid ending a man up. Now 2 as Kusa hitting 2 op shots and able to survive, retreating with a 3K and 3 HP. Hiko now wrapping around. He'll be on the big flank here. Shinobi expecting it, but it is taking Hiko a while. I think Shinobi might give up that idea. Or will he? He does have tons of time to work with, and look at that. Hiko's actually be like, you know what? I'm going to go squeaky door as well. He'll run straight into Shinobi, and with the HP, it should be Hiko to win it. Yeah, it hits the headshot immediately. So 11-4, not the half that complexity want, considering with the data that we have, they win the majority of the rounds on the T side of cash.
Yeah, and again, there was so many close rounds. I was actually just looking at it. So just in the last, 5 or 6 rounds alone, there was the 3 1v1s and like 2 2v1s, and Cole could come up with none of those. So yeah, when you're losing every single clutch situation, it's going to be hard for you to put rounds up on the board when the rounds are so close. I think that's actually the biggest thing we can pull away from that half, and the key to Liquid's success was being able to shut out rounds on retake situations, even in one-on-ones. Every single time it went their way.
Except like the very, very first one. Struggle with it a little bit, and that's how round 4 came by for Liquid. And I remember Sanks being a very, very big part of that. The couple rounds they got that bomb planted on A, and then the same story when they got those 3 in a row. But since that point, since round 10, it was all Liquid. A couple of those getting pretty close at the end. That's why, Fraud, Roka, and Shinobi all got a couple more kills, but it's unfortunate because none of those were able to convert around into a W, and it's Team Liquid that now goes on to the T side, where they are also more potent.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is while they don't have a whole lot of strategy right now because they're still trying to figure out who's going to lead the team and what they want to do with the roster they have, they still have a buttload of firepower. So, I mean, literally, they could just run heavy executes every round, and eventually they're going to find the 5 they need to win this game with the talent they have, I feel like. I mean, they could literally just heavy execute A every round, and I'm sure eventually they would find the rounds they need, especially if they can win pistol. Too much talent over there.
Never have too much talent. As here you go.
Too much for Cole to deal with.
Flash out, mana quad fence and fork. I mean, the perfect setup you could ask for. But look at Nitro. Who's that? That's Nitro. As Sanks gets turned on. He will even grab one more as he picks up the USP. Simples and Z connector crushes Roka's skull. Blood everywhere.
The Nitro just hit 2 one-tap Glock headshots, including a 180. Dude. That's kind of what it looked like. Holy cow. Hard to defend against that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You got wrecked.
There's not much you can do.
Say.
And you give Nitro one bullet and he kills 2 of you, that's going to be tough to deal with. And they're just going to do the same thing over here, like with this plow A. Why not? You're not up against any utilities, so you might as well just try to get in here and see what you can do.
Oh, Flash coming over from the CTs. That will delay things a little bit, but even still, Kusta with that Mach 10 running through and farming up that money. Hiko then with the Galil. Gonna get 2 more, and it'll all be Roka again at that Z connector, and it'll be simple to kill him.
So a flawless victory here for Liquid. Last round they only lost 2, so they're certainly building up their bank a little bit, and they're about to get to 14-4 before complexity can even think about a full buy. So that is not looking good for Cole. Again, this is a map that complexity were able to beat Liquid on back when they were still sporting a Dren instead of Kusta. They did so pretty handedly. This time around, not even close to the same story. Unless they can recover in the next round or something. But it's, like I said, very likely 14-4. And, well, Liquid gonna plow A again.
Shinobi will be the one to start things off, though, and it's Elise trying to retreat back, able to pull out the PP-50 and retake the fight. And Def take it down as Hiko will open up that squeaky door and frag. Nitro with 2. Only Kusta actually without a kill on this round, and now Liquid got a 10-round lead. Complexity coming into the first rifle, and it'll be a decent buy-up for them, but will it matter?
Plow A again?
Why not?
I don't know. I mean, Kusa has an op, so they might slow it down a little bit to give him a chance to work a pick at middle or something. He actually has a really good spawn just to go pick the mid-garage doorway. But he actually won't. He'll just go straight over to squeaky door. Okay, well. You see this every now and then, but it's usually not right off the bat where an op goes this direction. Again, Simple is kind of still playing that lurk roll over on the B-bomb site we're seeing him do at the Malmo qualifiers, and that seems to be kind of the role he's been playing on Liquid. It's a little bit odd for him, but see how he makes it work. As look, I mean, he's already pushing the checkers. He's being super aggressive on this extremity.
And this is nice. That's so sick. Kusta's able to just post up. You know the angle, whether the door's closed or not. And a teammate comes in and opens the door, and Kusta says hello. And just like that, it's 5-on-3. A Simple going to get a kill onto Roka as well. That's Simple, while he's doing that, he's lurking over here at B, just keeping people from rotating back to that A site, where they will go once more.
That's so blind.
And not moving out of the open. That was a little odd. It's not like he had anywhere to go, though, so who knows. Here's Sanks trying to make a big play and a big stand at the forklift. Can't do it, and now it's Fraud 1 versus 3 with 19 HP and no kit. That bomb is being planted, I believe, there by Nitro, who's now gone to the quad position. You've got Kusta post-planting at the fork, and Hiko, you know, just running around making plays, trying to find this guy. He's expecting Fraud to be saving, so that's what Hiko's on about. He's got a Galil and he's got money. He doesn't really care if he dies here.
I mean, it's just a perfect combination of events there for Liquid. I mean, it's getting the op pick with Kusta from door on the highway, so that kills a rotate there. Meanwhile, Simple gets a kill, holds Fraud in place, so now you can't even get a rotate off of B to help A. And then they just overwhelm the 1 or 2 guys that are left inside the site with just the raw skill of Nitro and company with those rifles. So, I mean, this has kind of been the Liquid we've seen when they've played with Kusta in the Malmo qualifiers and such, has been just this really execute-heavy, aggressive team. And they have the firepower to support that style. So, yeah, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Does Hiko keep the Galil? I mean, I know it rhymes. He's got the Eco Galil. He is Hiko, but yep, he's going to go for it. Why not? Just one more round here for Team Liquid, and it will be pretty much a crushing defeat for compLexity. Only able to put up 4 rounds. I guess one thing that is nice is at least 3 of them were rifle rounds. And I think they earned themselves 1 anti-eco, which they converted, but then nothing since then.
Yeah, now they just have what they could muster up, which there is an op on Fraud. They do have an M4 on Roka. Everything else is just pistols. Def has been counter boosted. He's going to play it real patient. Maybe just waiting to see them actually go for the execute and then play. But no, he's actually going to peek now, and Simple's going to catch him. That's an instant 5-on-4 for Liquid. They're going to go ahead and execute A. They got the smokes out. They're putting the mollies down the clear out quad in the fence corner. And now they just need to worry about forklift. And Elige does get a team kill there on the Nitro, so that's a little bit of a false start. But they still clear out the site. Now they have control. The plant should go down. They have a 4-on-2 now.
What happens when you stand in front of Elige, man? Like, you put yourself at risk. Here's Fraud. Man, Fraud really has had a lot of clutch situations. A few of them, like, actually possible.
This one, not so much.
Yeah, not so much. No kit. 1v3 coming onto the A site here. Does. Oh my god!
Got him in the D!
This man, and then it seems like he's just given up when he goes back for the second peek. Damn, that sucks. I don't know if that was a leg, arm shot, or through the railing or what, but unfortunate. Could have possibly got interesting if he brought it to the 1v2. But yeah, Liquid extremely dominant as they now will go over to Dust 2.
This was their map pick. And again, last time these two teams played, it was a victory for Liquid. That was a pretty close game, 16-14. But again, it's a different Liquid now. It's a Liquid with Kusta. So, I mean, certainly things can be different when you look at the Dust 2 history of Liquid since they've brought on Kusta. They've won all their games. They destroyed Renegades and CLG in the Malmo qualifiers on Dust 2. And they had a win on Dust 2 earlier this tournament against Noble. Their only loss came to Energy, and that was just 14-16 loss. Meanwhile, for compLexity, the only time they played D2 was last time they played Liquid, and again, it was a different lineup, so there's not much going for them there. So, I mean, all signs kind of point the way that looked, as embarrassing as that kind of was for Cole, I feel like the 2-0 is very likely at this point.
Oh, it's extremely likely.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, we'll have to see if they can come up with something, but that was a rough game for them, only coming up with 4 rounds on the terrace side, when normally they're able to put up, 7-8 on that side. And they couldn't do anything on their CT side after losing pistols. So, yeah, that's going to be a one-sided victory for Liquid in a big, big way. And now we'll take a short break, and then we'll bring you the second map. And then, of course, later on tonight, we do have the other semifinals matchup, which is going to be Energy taking on Selfless. So, yeah, stay tuned for that a little bit later. But, yeah, we'll take a break for now.